Welcome, Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like and subscribe button because you are officially in with the crew and you know how we do. Get your roll up, get your pull up because we have officially landed on Mars. Reflection, you got to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button because you never want to miss out on a video. And we have to let them know we have officially landed. So, with that being said, Reflection, let me cut this music off in the background so we can get started. Welcome to my show, Reflection. You are officially in with the crew, and I am Tarithia. Now, with that being said, we are here talking about the simulation. Now, for anyone who is familiar with the game The Sims, that's why I have it in the background. Reflection, The Sims is basically a short term for simulation. Anyone who actually played The Sims, they understand that they understand what it is to be a programmer, what it is to take a world and build it from the ground up. Okay, Reflection. So we are actually looking at these videos from a programmer's perspective rather than the program perspective. Okay, Reflection. Are we really living in a simulation? Now, remember, everything over here is alleged. Everything over here is for educational purposes only. Okay, so we're just going down this rabbit hole, Reflection. So, if anyone who is new to the simulation theory, maybe after this video, you will have a better idea of what the simulation really is. And are we in a simulation?
This is why I believe The Matrix was a documentary. When you look into ancient religion and philosophy, you'll start to notice a reoccurring theme of escaping this illusionary world or a reincarnation cycle. In Hinduism, Maya refers to the cosmic illusion that veils the true nature of reality. It's the concept that the material world that we perceive is transit, deceptive, and not the ultimate truth. This idea correlates with the simulation hypotheses, proposing that our perceived reality might be a simulated construct. If you're familiar with the Gnostic teachings, there are striking parallels between the Gnostic concepts in the movie The Matrix. Both explore the idea of escaping a false reality or an illusionary veil to attain a deeper understanding of existence. The film's theme of waking up from a simulated reality echoes the Gnostic notion of awakening to a higher truth beyond the material world. In The Matrix, machines use humans as a power source, harnessing their bioelectricity. Now, what's interesting, in some interpretations of Gnostic beliefs, archons trap souls in a never-ending reincarnation cycle that limits spiritual evolution and keeps individuals bound to the material world so they can feed off their energy. And if you're open-minded, I highly suggest you check out my latest video, because this
Okay, Reflection. You can definitely go check out his TikToks and his YouTube page. That is Marco J. Williams. He has some great content over there as well, Reflection. So what do you think about that information? Him saying that he thinks that the Matrix is not only just a movie, Reflection, it's a documentary. And not only that, he believes that we are actually allegedly in a simulation.
What if I told you there was an ancient occult religion that believed we are living in a simulation? Now you may be saying, Lars, you've lost the plot. Maybe, but just humor me. The religion is Gnosticism, which was an early form of Christianity. And in Gnosticism, they believed in the concept of a high god, but they also believed in the concept of lower gods. And one of those gods was the demiurge. The demiurge created the material realm. The material realm in Gnosticism is a lot like the shadows in Plato's allegory of the cave. We perceive the shadows, but there is a higher realm that is casting those shadows, a higher realm that is the base reality. An interesting parallel between the demiurge and AI is that the demiurge was a lower god that was created by Sophia being the goddess of knowledge. So the entity that created the material world was created from a source of knowledge or information. An interesting thing about Gnosticism is that they believed in the concept of reincarnation as a curse, as a way of trapping the human spirit in the material realm for infinity. And that is what the demiurge does. Kinda like respawning in a video game that never ends. Gnosticists believe in the power of gnosis, which is accessing higher knowledge to understand the reality of higher realms, the base reality. Yeah. Let me know what you think.
So what do you think about that reflection? Now, as we go through these videos, you will listen at in different religions, a lot of those religions allegedly were kind of hinting at that this may be a simulation.
Ain't no way everyone here is a real person. Life is a simulation and a legitimate professor has proved it. James Gates, a theoretical physicist at MIT with 2 bachelor degrees and a PhD, found literal computer code embedded in the most fundamental building blocks of reality called strings. Now, string theory is a tough one, but I'm gonna break it down for you in a way that an 11-year-old would understand. So if you don't get this, hey, go back to grade 5, bro. Alright, so we got my boy Einstein's theory of general relativity, which is basically just a theory of everything big. Planets, gravity, the universe, all the way back to the Big Bang. Then we got the new kid in town, quantum physics. This is the theory of everything small, like particles, atoms, and molecules, where the general laws of physics, like gravity, don't apply anymore. The same is true the other way around. Quantum laws don't apply to regular-sized physics. So we got general relativity, everything big, and quantum physics, everything small. Like, yo, dig. But both of these realms have the same parent, the Big Bang, at which point everything that is now big used to be small. If the small can become big, then quantum and general relativity need some sort of theory that can unify them. That is string theory. What happens to the big when it's small? What happens when you zoom into an atom? You see protons and neutrons in the center with electrons all around it. Now, what about inside a neutron? Even smaller particles called quarks. So how deep does the scale go? Conventional science will tell you there's nothing inside these quarks. But string theory suggests there's a tiny filament or a string of pure energy that exists inside of them. And just like the string of a guitar vibrates and creates different sound based on its shape and tension, the strings in string theory vibrate. But instead of sound, they produce matter in the form of particles. This completely changes the way you look at the world. Every particle in the universe is just a string vibrating at a different frequency, and every vibrational pattern has its own associated particle. So if you break anything down far enough, we're all just energy vibrating at differing wavelengths to form matter. Although it's still just a theory, this would link general relativity to the quantum realm and form what is known as the theory of everything. Okay, yeah, cool. Now where is this computer code found? When Dr. James Gates took a look at a set of equations derived from string theory, he found binary code, error correcting code used for compressing data on a computer. A sequence of ones and zeros, the same code that is used by popular search engines, which, according to him, who has a PhD in theoretical physics from MIT, doesn't just resemble computer code, it literally is computer code. Meaning, if we break matter and energy down far enough, we eventually find compressing computer code etched into the very fabric of reality. So, who wrote this code? Are we living in, dare I say, a simulation?
So what do you think about that information reflection? What do you think about even people that believe in the Big Bang theory? Even then reflection, they are saying that this could be a simulation. So it's going from people that believe in religion, from people that believe in other things, reflection. Everybody is coming to the same theory that this could possibly be a simulation.
Sees me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane isn't moving. It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
Most of y'all know how I feel about my neighborhood, right? And how it's a fucking simulation. Like, literally all the houses are the same, right? Why the fuck are all these white cars like dead ass?
You guys see that shadow? Where? Where are the clouds? Where are the clouds?
Well, reflection, did you actually see that? Did you see the shadow that was on that mountain or those rocks reflections? And there were no clouds there. There were no clouds there, reflection. What is really going on? Is it all just a coincidence? Is it a glitch? What is it? And even if it is a glitch, what is it a glitch in, reflection? Remember, everything here is alleged. We're just going down the rabbit hole of the simulation theory.
Did you know that we are living in a simulation created after our universe was destroyed? Listen carefully. It's shocking. According to this theory, a devastating catastrophe took place centuries ago, but an advanced civilization managed to preserve our consciousness by transferring us into a hyper-realistic simulation. In this simulated reality, every detail, every coincidence is orchestrated by a superior intelligence, maneuvering in the shadows to maintain the illusion of our existence. Every encounter, every element of our daily life is actually a creation of this simulation, designed to keep us ignorant of our true nature. But that's not the most disturbing part. We have no way to prove or disprove this theory because every piece of evidence, every fragment of our logic and science, is also a creation of this simulation, designed to keep us in the dark and prevent us from discovering the truth about our existence. We are trapped in an infinite loop, a reality constantly being created and recreated, from which it is impossible to escape.
So what do you think about that reflection? Remember, we're thinking outside of the box and around the corner. We're not thinking about right in front of you, reflection, okay? We're going down a rabbit hole. You're over here with Taretha. Hit the like and subscribe button because it let everyone know that we have officially landed on Mars and we're here to shake shit up. So with that being said, reflection, think about the Sims game. Anyway, all of my gamers who are in the building, think about the Sims game, reflection, or just any game that you play. Okay, think about how advanced it is, how you can create your own avatar. In some games, you can even upload your face and it will create the avatar for you, reflection. Think about how they were saying that allegedly the world was destroyed and the consciousness was actually saved. Now, if you go back and you look at certain movies, look at this movie. No, it's a TV series. Look at the TV series Electric Dreams, episode 3. I think it's episode 3 or 2. When she realized that she was not who she thought she was. Nobody around her was who she thought they were, who she thought they was, and they all thought that they were actually not in a simulation. They thought they were real, reflection. Okay, now in another video tonight, so make sure you join me back later on tonight. We're actually going to go into the different forms of artificial intelligence, because a lot of people just think when they hear artificial intelligence, they think of AI. AI is the base of it all, reflection. There is other types of artificial intelligence. Okay, so not to get off subject, but just keep that in mind. I wanted to present this video before we get into the different forms of artificial intelligence. Okay, so with that being said, reflection, remember, everything over here is for educational purposes only. Everything is alleged. We are here just putting a stain on their brain. The best thing you can do, you can never make anyone believe what you say, reflection, but the least you can do is start a thought. Start that thought. Okay, reflection, nothing is wrong with thinking. So with that being said, let's keep going.
Who is the creator of the simulation?
Some people say it's aliens. There was a professor at Oxford who wrote a paper about this back in 2003 named Nick Bostrom, and he thinks it's future versions of ourselves. So he thinks we're in what we'd call an ancestor simulation. Like if we created a game of ancient Rome, they would be like our ancestors in a way. There are others who say it's God or pure consciousness outside of the matrix. So all the religions, not just any specific religion, but pretty much all of them have been telling us that the physical world is not the real world, that there's another world out there beyond this. And so that's yet another theory of what's outside.
Do you believe this is probable, possible?
I believe it's probable, like more than a 50% chance that we are inside some type of...
Those are pretty high odds.
Well, yeah, and as I studied the different religions, I realized that they were telling us the same thing that modern computer science and that modern physics is starting to tell us about the nature of reality.
What if somebody or something shut this game off instantly? What would happen to us?
Well, this depends a little bit on what I call the NPC version or the RPG version. So NPC means non-player character. And those are the characters inside the video games that are just AI. The bank teller or the bartender or the orcs that you're fighting. And then there's the RPG version or the role-playing game version. Those are the characters that we play. So if you and I were in a game, we would have avatars within the game. And so what happens when you shut down a game if you're playing like World of Warcraft, or if you had a virtual reality headset on? You take off the headset and there's still you outside of the game. But the problem is in something like The Matrix, if you remember, Keanu Reeves and Morpheus and the others, they had those wires that connected into the back of their brain. So they forgot that they were inside a video game. They didn't realize it. Now, on the other hand, if we're just non-player characters, if we're just AI within the game, and you shut off the game, then those characters go to sleep until you can restart those again.
Interesting take. Now,
reflection. Now that was a mouthful within itself, and I think that was very well put. Okay, hit the like and subscribe button. You over here with us right there. We are officially on Mars, and we just coming over here shaking shit up. Okay, everything is alleged, and everything is for educational purposes only. But with that being said, reflection. What do you think about that? What do you think about him saying that? Remember in the last video they said that allegedly there was a reset with the world. And well, on this particular planet, and they were able to save their consciousness and create another version of themselves. Remember, if you go look at Electric Dreams on Prime, reflection, episode 3 or episode 4, it is showing you everything that we are talking about now. Okay, now with that being said, they actually created another version of themselves, but they were still controlling them almost. If you get what I'm saying, their consciousness, they could think like them. It was almost like they were replaying themselves out again in another version of that game. Think about the Sims. You have the Sims 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm thinking 5 now, if I'm not mistaken. But with that being said, reflection, me being a gamer, I'm not a real gamer, but this particular game, I've always loved it. I always loved it anytime I find spare time because I like to program things. So with that being said, if you will notice, think about the Sims game. You have NPCs, which are non-playing characters, and you have the ones that you are playing with. Reflection, the more advanced the Sims became, the game I'm speaking of, the more advanced the Sims became. And you would have to be someone that has played this game from maybe you get what I'm saying, from maybe 2 to 3 to 4, or maybe even from 3 to 4. Okay, but you would see that there is a big difference. The Sims actually are more intelligent, reflection. Even if it's in a game, they are extremely intelligent. You have to remember sometimes that these are games that you are playing. You like, hold on, how did you know that I really was finna get ready and make you do that? How did you know I was finna make you do that? Reflection. Everything is not a game, everything is not a movie. Okay, so with that being said, we're just going down this rabbit hole. Everything is alleged. Okay, so with that being said, let's keep going. Let's listen to some other people who have a perception on this particular theory.
I booked on Airbnb. If you go in the closet, they have these books all in here, but they have a couple DVDs down here, and there's only 4 of them here. Okay, so here's the DVDs: Ronin, Sahara, and Hardball. This last one's some old movie. Okay, so let me prove that we are in a Matrix here. So these movies here are from like the year 2000. They're all old ones. They're not even that popular, right? So I go on my Netflix. Well, it's not my Netflix. It's the person who owns this cottage. Go to the trending page, okay? So if I scroll over on trending page, watch what happens. There's the movie Hardball, which they have, okay? Number 1. Let's keep going. Oh, look. Sahara. That's the other movie that's down there, right? Now let's keep going. See if there's anything else on here. Oh, Ronin, which this is a different Ronin movie, but it's the same spelling as this one here. Ronin, Hardball, Sahara. Okay, so what's going on here? So literally 4 DVDs. What's the chances that they're all on the trending page? The trending page only has like 30 movies on here. Most of these are old. This movie is from 2013. Sahara is from 2005, which is even older. And the movie Hardball, I believe, is 2001, which is even older. Let's see. Hardball. 2001. So what's the chances those 3 movies just happen to be on the trending page of all things? Are we in the Matrix? Does this prove it? Figure out why the universe wants me to look into these 3 movies. I've never seen any of them. So when you look at the back of them, it gets interesting. This one is about a new world order and goes further in detail. Just one connect there. And then this movie here is about the ultimate treasure hunt. You know, I think they end up finding treasure and they end up investigating and finding all that good stuff. And then Hardball, this movie's about a guy who runs like a baseball team and he does sports betting. So I think it's very interesting that this movie's about sports betting, this one's about finding treasure, and this one is about New World Order, mercenaries, whatever. And you combined all 3 of them, it's kind of like Gematria, finding treasure, sports Gematria, betting, you know, exposing New World Order. Is this why I'm showing these 3 DVDs here? Also, another side fact is my mother-in-law thinks I look like Matthew McConaughey, so I thought that was kind of funny. He happens to be on that case. He happens to be in the movie The Matrix, which is another connect. No, this looks like...
So what do you think about that reflection? Was it all just a coincidence? I know they say allegedly Alexis, Siri, all of them reflection, they be listening at you and shit. They don't believe in knocking before they come in and shit. They don't believe in, you get what I'm saying, don't peep in on your conversation. Siri, Sirius, Alexia and Alexis, reflection, they are something else. They really allegedly they be listening in on your reflection and your most private and vulnerable moments. That's just what I heard. I heard that reflection. That's what I heard. Okay, I didn't say it. They said it up the street, around the block, up the corner. I didn't say that. They said it. Okay. Now, with that being said, everybody, you know, I have to be biased. Everybody don't believe in that we are living in a simulation. Everybody don't believe that we're living in a simulation reflection, and they have a theory of why this isn't a simulation. Let's talk about it.
I used to think we were living in a simulation. Then I talked to some colleagues, did some more reading, and now I feel a little better that we're probably not. The argument for it was, you get a real universe, and then people in there get really smart, and they program computers, and they create worlds. And the people in that world don't know that they're fake, all right? And then they evolve, and they develop computers, and they create a world, and they create a world. And this goes all the way down. And so there's the real world and all the worlds that can create worlds, except the last one, which is still working on it. Eventually they'll get there. All right, throw a dart. Chances are you're going to hit a world that's simulated. That's us. But we don't know how to make an actual simulated world where everybody thinks it's real. So either we're the last of those worlds that's still working on it, or we're the first one, which is actually real.
If human beings keep going, we definitely will create a simulation. It's just a matter of time. So if that's the case, how do we know that we're not in one already? And we really don't. Every day we go to sleep, and every day we wake up, and we assume and we have faith that all that stuff that we remember is really how life went on before we were awake. But we really don't know. According to probability theory, it's more likely that we're in a simulation.
Maybe that's true.
You're assuming that all of the stuff that you know and all the stuff that you experience is 100% real. We are within 100 years away from making something that's indiscernible from what we experience every day. And that's inevitable. Unless we get disrupted by nature, unless we get hit with an asteroid or start a nuclear war, it's inevitable that technology reaches a point where simulation's possible.
Probably. The idea behind the simulation theory is that none of this is real, and what we're actually experiencing is a kind of computer-generated simulation. And before you jump to the conclusion that there's no way you would fall for a simulation, your brain doesn't see, doesn't move, doesn't feel. You have body parts that collect that data sensory, which your brain then translates so that you can have an experience. Even though this technology is kind of crude, it doesn't take much to trick your senses into thinking that you're about to fall, for example. People like to put the odds at about 50-50, because we can't can't prove that it's true just as much as we can't prove that it's not. It could explain a couple of things, like the arbitrary speed limit of the universe, which is the speed of light, but also maybe the Mandela effect, which is a collective false memory, named after Nelson Mandela, who for some reason a lot of people thought was dead for decades. Some other examples are Looney Tunes, Pikachu, and I don't care what you say, I still call it Jiffy. Solipsism is the philosophical idea that you are the only one can be sure exists, because you can't remove your mind and put it into someone else, so how could you prove that everyone is as real as you? Most of my friends who work in IT, for the government, NASA, SpaceX, most of them believe we're in a simulation.
Well, that kind of makes sense when I say peace, reflection, tune in, reflection. I'll see you next time, reflection. Hit the like and subscribe button, reflection. We've hit our 25-minute marker. And remember, everything in this video is for educational purposes only. These videos are literally here to spark your own opinions. Reflection. Remember, do your own research. Don't listen to what no one have to tell you. Always question every piece of information, evidence. I don't care who's presenting it to you. Until next